Well, there was a dramatic turn of events for Alec Baldwin in his manslaughter trial arising from the Rust movie shooting. The actor left the courthouse free of all charges after the judge dismissed the case. Josh Campbell filed this report.
A stunning end to the prosecution of actor Alec Baldwin, who had faced an involuntary manslaughter charge following the fatal shooting on the set of the movie Rust in 2021 that killed cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. And a shocking move on Friday, the judge abruptly dismissing Alec Baldwin's indictment that came after his legal team had filed a motion to dismiss, accusing state investigators of misconduct, specifically saying that key evidence in the case was not properly disclosed. Here's the judge reading a ruling.
The state's discovery violation has injected a needless, incurable delay into the instant jury trial. Dismissal with prejudice is warranted to ensure the integrity of the judicial system and the efficient administration of justice. Your motion to dismiss with prejudice is granted.
Now, after the case was dismissed, Alec Baldwin broke down in tears. He was being consoled by his attorneys in the gallery. Members of the Baldwin family were there. They were also in tears, embracing. We caught up with the special prosecutor in this case afterwards, who said that she respects the decision of the judge, but maintains that the state did nothing wrong.
There is no reason to believe that the evidence that we discussed in court today was related to the set of Rust. It never left the state of Arizona. I understand that the court disagrees with me, and I respect the court's decision. There is absolutely no evidence that any of that ammunition is related to the incident involving Ms. Hutchins.
Now, the way the judge ruled here is so important. She dismissed Alec Baldwin's indictment with prejudice, which means prosecutors cannot retry the case. Alec Baldwin is a free man. Josh Campbell, CNN, Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Well, for more, I want to welcome attorney and legal affairs commentator Ariva Martin in Las Vegas. Appreciate you staying up late for us, Ariva. This is just an incredible case. We saw at the start of the day one prosecutor resigned. The other prosecutor went from questioning witnesses to becoming a witness. I just want to play some sound from court.
The information, everything that happened in this regard, especially as it pertains to me, needs to come out in the public.
All right, so you're calling yourself as a witness.
And I am, and it was my understanding that the court indicated to me previously that you wanted me to testify. I understand you've now changed your mind. I think it's a good idea if I do it. Where would you like me?
Okay.
Do you want me here at the podium?
No, on the witness.
Okay, sure. I had a picture of the ammunition that didn't match the ammunition from the set of Rust.
No concerns in your mind when you got the case file and you turned it over to us that it wasn't included?
Absolutely not. There's a terabyte of discovery. I didn't know whether this 2-page police report had been provided. And in addition to that, I had no reason to believe, and still have no reason to believe, that those rounds have anything to do with these cases.
Ariva, it seems so embarrassing for the state prosecutor. How unusual is this?
This is highly unusual. This case has just had a series of errors, error after error after error. The resignation of the special prosecutor before the case is even concluded. We've never, ever seen anything like that happening in a criminal case. We also had an investigator that worked on this case send an email to the district attorney's office talking about how unprofessional and how flawed the investigation was in the first place. So it's just been a comedy of errors with respect to this case. I'm not surprised at all that the judge dismissed the case with prejudice. To have the prosecutor have to take the witness stand and defend her actions, again, highly, highly unusual. The judge using words like intentional withholding of evidence, incurable, violations by this prosecuting attorney, and then the ultimate dismissal with prejudice. This is highly embarrassing for this prosecuting team, and I'm sure disappointing for the family of Halyna Hutchins.
Yeah, exactly. And it was certainly just an incredible moment when the judge put on some latex gloves, cut open this folder, this manila folder, to look at the evidence before dismissing the case. I just want to play some sound from the judge.
The state is highly culpable for its failure to provide this discovery to the defendant. The state unilaterally withheld a supplemental report. Santa Fe County Sheriff's Officer made the decision, and apparently also with the prosecutor, as pursuant to Hancock's testimony, that the evidence was of no evidentiary value and failed to connect the evidence to the instant case. The jury has been sworn, jeopardy has attached, and this disclosure during the course of trial is so late that it undermines the defendant's preparation for trial. There is no way for the court to right this wrong.
I mean, you can see the judge is disappointed as well with the way this is unfolding in her courtroom. It was noted in that folder that she opened that some of the ammunition did in fact look like some that was found on the set of that film. Could there be any further repercussions for the state prosecutor?
Well, that's a good question, Linda. And the question about what this prosecutor knew and didn't know and what actions she took that were intentional versus those that may be considered negligent. I would not be surprised if we did not see the defense attorneys file a bar complaint, a complaint with the state bar, asking the state bar to investigate her for misconduct with respect to the way she conducted this trial. But Linda, we should not gloss over the fact that everything that happened in that courtroom today is like right out of a movie. To have the judge put on, as you said, latex gloves to go into the well of her courtroom, to have this prosecuting attorney have to take the witness stand. The jury is dismissed. I mean, there's so many things in this case that happened today that are highly, highly unusual, things that you only typically see in an actual, dramatic setting, some kind of dramatic movie. But all of this was real, happening in real time. And now Alec Baldwin is a free man. He will not be held accountable, criminally accountable at least, for the death of Helena Hutchins. And again, I cannot imagine what a blow this must be to her family.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw Alec Baldwin weeping, his head in his hands, and later hugging his wife, who was seated behind him. You mentioned that he can't be tried again, at least not criminally in this case, but he could face a civil case, right?
Apparently, there is a civil lawsuit that was filed by Ms. Hutchins' husband, and there has been no resolution. In fact, the civil attorney for the family came out to say that they are still looking forward to their day in court and looking forward to holding Alec Baldwin accountable. So absolutely, the civil case will not in any way be impacted by what happened today in the criminal case. And I would anticipate that case to move forward if there's not an out-of-court settlement, for there to actually be a trial on the merits. But again, that's about money. That's about money damages. It's not about jail time. It's not about conviction. It literally, the most that the family can hope for is that Alec Baldwin is found liable for the death of Helena Hutchins and then forced to pay some kind of money damages to the family.
Yeah, we have to feel for the family of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer. Thank you so much for joining us, Areva Martin. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.